You are now listening to the Vitalize podcast. Hey, yo, what up, family? Welcome back to the Vitalize podcast. You're here with your friendly neighborhood host, Mr. Marcus Black, and I'm so incredibly excited, elated, ecstatic, and all the other fancy words that start with E to let you know I'm excited to be in your presence today. Yeah! You just walked into the hurricane of hope. That's what's happening. Some of you just got here for the very first time. Shout out to you. Welcome. I'm super glad to have you a part of the community. Whoever invited you loved you a whole lot because they felt you needed this in your heart and your soul. So thank you so much for pulling up on me. And we have a good time, man. We're here for a good time, not for a long time. And what I promise, I make you a couple of promises. Number one, I will never bore you. You can see that from the jump. But number two, I will never, ever waste your time. Time is the most valuable and precious resource we'll ever receive. And so I'm going to make sure that I honor yours and the time that you choose to spend with your boy. So sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Listen, ain't no such thing as a second-time guest around here. So if you pull up one time, then the next time you come around, use family now. And you're stuck. Not really, but I'm glad to have y'all here, man. Thank y'all so much for tapping in with the Vitalize podcast. Those of you who went and did the things, and y'all know the things I'm talking about, man, shout out to y'all. Really appreciate you. I had to say it that many times just so you know it's real. For going, and you guys have been running it up on YouTube. Thank you so much. For all of you who are new to the community, shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate you. Welcome to the family. And I would love it if you guys would continue sharing because my 7-year-old told me sharing is caring, Daddy. So listen, if you rock with the guy, sharing is caring. And so however you choose to do that, whatever platform you choose to do that, whether you share someone the Apple podcast, you share someone the Spotify podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, you share it with them because I think we're on like 11 or 12 platforms. However you choose to share that, I appreciate you. If you share the clips on Instagram, TikTok, X, or YouTube, man, I'm grateful for you. Even if y'all disagree with me, duet me and tell me. That's cool too. I love it. I welcome all the content and all the feedback. I am grateful for you and I'm grateful for your heart. Now, without further ado, I love to talk to y'all today. And like I said, I'm not going to keep you too long, but there's some things. There's a brother of mine that I recently met on this incredible app, which has been a very wonderful gift to me. And this app is called Chatter Social. Actually, I am live streaming this now on Chatter Social. So the rest of y'all, I don't know where y'all been, where you been all of my life. This is Johnny Taylor, right? Y'all don't know about that Johnny Taylor. Some of y'all know about that Johnny Taylor, but a lot of y'all don't know about that Johnny Taylor. But anyway, I don't know where y'all been all my life. But here we are, and I'm streaming live on Chatter Social. There's an incredible community of people who pull up every week, and they are a live audience for your boy. So you know it's real. So can't be no mess-ups and can't be no stops and no letdowns and no replays, no redos. Everything you see is live and direct because I got a real incredible community here. And there's a lot of them watching right now, man. They just in here chilling, man. They saying, what up, though? Look at my guy. BDA pulled up in the building. What up, though? My man, Fireman Benz, pulled up in the building. Oh, my God. I'm getting out of the chat. I was finna say hello to some people on Chatter Social. I see Isha is in the building. Drew, what up, though? Tim, Tina, my boo Rachel Black said, yeah, let's go. Kelly's in the building. What up, though? What up? Danielle, what's up, girl? Good to see you, my friend. Danielle is the reason I'm on Chatter Social, so shout out to her, longtime friend. Dora Maria, what up, my G? It's good to see y'all, man. I'm glad to have you. Becca B said, what up, family? But this is happening on Chatter. I had to get out of that chat, though, because I was about to get up out of there because my man, BDA, is an incredible human. I can't explain him to you. You just got to come to Chatter Social to find out. But he's rather young, and he just asked, who the heck is Johnny Taylor? And that just hurt my heart. It really hurt my heart. So he don't know nothing about them last $2. It's okay. It's okay. We'll educate him later. We don't got time for that right now. But Chatter Social is a thing that's happening. And like I said, I wanted to tell you about another incredible brother that I met there recently. And that brother's name is Biffy. Again, you got to come to the app. You can meet him. He's a super dope dude, right? But we we had a session the other day on the phone where we was just singing all of these old quartet style songs. And so we literally spent like 7 minutes on replay singing the song Can't Stay Too Long. So I just gave you all of that to let you know. Can't stay too long, man. We ain't gonna be here too long today. I told you we're here for a good time and not for a long time. So listen, if you do want to get in where you fit in on Chatter Social, holla at your boy. I can get you in the door. It is in beta mode right now, which means you gotta have an invite to get in the door, but you just might know a person who can get you in the door. So if you wanna get in the door, holla at the guy and I can get you in the door. We do all types of things there. We have a lot of fun there, man. There's literally singing competitions, poetry competitions, which yours truly was also a part of, costume competitions, pet costume competitions. I mean, you name it, it's something there for you. There's all types of political debates and conversations, a lot happening there. You could pull up. I got an invite for you if you want to get in the door. So just holler at your boy. Just DM me. Say the word Chatter, and I'll send you an invite. I'll make sure you get in the door, and we'll take good care of you. All right? All right. Now, speaking of the conversations that happen on Chatter, there's one that's prevalent that is actually a prevalent conversation everywhere these days, and it's actually what I want to talk to you about today. And now the time has come where if you live in these United States, and I know many of you don't, many of you live all over the world, but sometimes you see it. I know I get messages from you guys all the time asking me questions, especially my international friends. Shout out to my international friends, by the way, all 60 plus countries of y'all represented here, the multiple cities in those countries. That means the world to me. I am super grateful. I also don't have all the answers for you for the questions y'all be asking, because I don't know why people do the things they do, but they do them. But I'm appreciative of you for rocking with me. But we got something real big coming up in these United States over the next couple of weeks. And it is a live election for the next president of the United States of America. And this is one of the most polarizing topics that you will ever see, ever, as a result of the things that happen and the people that this conversation affects. And you see my tone coming down because I really get introspective, and I want you to feel me and go on this journey with me, right? Because I have watched people lose relationships. I've watched people lose friendships. I watched people turn their back on people who they once held down over freaking politics, over people who ain't paying your bills. Ooh, they're not buying you nobody's groceries. They're not taking care of your kids. They're not doing anything for you. I mean, they make policy and all of that stuff, which moves at the speed of snails, sloth. So they do affect change. And I'm not saying it's not important to pay attention to. So I want you guys to hear me clearly. What this conversation we're having today is not an anti-politics. This ain't that, because I'm not saying that. Obviously, those things matter in the grand scheme of life and the life in which we live. But what I am saying is those things should never outweigh the everyday basic things that make us human and that make us community. And I'm going to give you some very real examples today as we unpack this conversation. But the question on the table today is a question that was asked many, many, many years ago in a very good book. It actually is considered the best-selling book of all time. And that question was, who is your neighbor? Who is your neighbor? What does that really look like to be neighborly in today's world? What does it look like? What is that as we talk about the concept of community? I don't even know if we know what that is anymore, because the world has transitioned us to a way that we don't really have community. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't live in the hood. I don't live in a place like that is like where violence runs amok. I live in a quiet neighborhood. It's like on the border of the city and the country, so I get the best of both worlds. It's really dope. But I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. Come to my neighbors, I don't know them people. I don't know them, and I don't trust them. And that's just me being honest. And that is so different than the world I grew up in. Because I told you, I grew up in a world where everybody on my block was family. All the kids played together all day. We was on our little adventures and excursions together. All the parents collectively agreed to make sure that all the kids were safe and that no matter whose watch they were under, they were going to make sure that they took care of those kids and make sure that those kids were really good. Like, this was the world in which we grew up in. I used to have my mom call our house phone, which some of y'all was like, what? Look, BDA still on chatter. Like, what is a house phone? What is this dude talking about? This dude talking about the Stone Age. Nah, bruh. It wasn't that long ago. My mom would call my house phone because somebody called her work phone to have her call my house phone to ask me to go in their house and take meat out the freezer. And we just live in a drastically different world now. And I'm not saying like it needs to be that way. I'm just saying the concept of community is sometimes fleeting. We've kind of lost that part of who we are. And because of it, we've lost a responsibility or a sense of responsibility to the collective. By collective, I mean for the greater good of all. We don't approach the world thinking about the greater good of all anymore, thus the world we live in. And we don't see people beating down the doors to be kind. We don't see people beating down the doors to help and to create hope. Doesn't mean there aren't people doing that. Hello, knock, knock. I'm yours truly is one of those people. I do that, and I'm sure you do that. If this type of podcast or show attracts you and you like to be around this kind of positive energy, then you're that type of person as well. So I'm not saying that it's all bad. I'm just saying from an overwhelming majority, things have shifted, and because of that, we find ourselves in this climate in which we are in right now, where it's about to get real nasty. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. It just is what it is. We could call a spade around here. Speaking of spades, also on Chatter, there's a spades tournament. That's neither here nor there. Yours truly may or may not have become a champion with one of the most incredible partners this world has ever known, and we ran a table. That's neither here nor there. But on Chatter, we call a spade and we win spades championships. But also, when you're around me, we call a spade. And the reality is we live in this place that is really divided right now. The political climate is very toxic, uber toxic. And it's kind of always been that way somewhat, but it used to be a little bit more tame. And now as the world has kind of gone further and further and further away from this sense of community, people don't really care about that anymore. They just care about being right. They care about their side being right. Is your side versus my side. Is Hatfields and McCoys. Is Bloods and Crips. I mean, it's really like that. Like, people be out here dying over this. People be killing people over their political identities and ideations. Are you kidding me? What are we talking about, fam? What are we really talking about? And so as I get ready to kind of transition and really take you on this brief journey, I started this by asking you, who's your neighbor? And that reminds me of this story that I was telling you about in a very good book, best-selling book of all time, about a gentleman who was traveling down this road. It was a weary road and a lonely road he traveled, but down this road, he wound up becoming very, very, very injured. And so as he was injured, he lay on the side of the road, basically bleeding out, like needing help. Desperately needing help, down bad. And some of y'all know what it feels like to be down bad. And you might not be physically down bad, but proverbially down bad. Like, your finances been down bad. Ooh, can we talk about it? Your faith been down bad. Your fitness been down bad. Your family relationships been down bad. Your dream, the state of your mind, your mental health been down bad. And you been that gentleman on the side of that road laying out, desperately needing help and watching the busy, bustling world around you just pass you by. And so as the story goes, there's a person who comes down the road, and the first person who comes down the road is a spiritual leader. There's somebody that you actually think will really have that person's best interest at heart. Spiritual leader comes, sees the person down bad, and walks right on by thinking, oh, I got an empire to build. I got some candy to order for our next outreach. Oh, wait, I told you I was stepping on toes today. We got this big initiative that's going to save lives. We got to go save all these lives. So I'm going to pass by this life that needs to be saved so I can go save lives. Uh-oh, is that what type of time we on? I think so. So we're going to go save all these lives. And I'm going to pass by this life that I see right here that is down bad, that is struggling, that's hurting. Okay, cool. Another person comes through. Let's say it's a doctor, an actual medical doctor, a person who has the ability to make sure this person is cool. Sees my man's laid out down bad. Nah, I'm good. I ain't got time for that. I got lives to save. So forget this life I see down bad right in front of me in my community. I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on pushing. My man's going to stay down bad. Goes on the doctor's merry way. Finally, a third and final individual comes down the street. This third and final individual, let's say the individual that was on the ground down bad was a Democrat. My man's was down bad. And I had to make it real for y'all. The last person who comes down the road is not the spiritual leader. He's not the medical leader. It's a Republican, a regular, everyday Republican. Regular schmegular. People been saying that lately. Comes down the road, and this how much I know about about politics, because I don't even know which animal represent which. So I was about to botch that, but I'm going to try to get it right. Let me see. My man's Republican coming down the road, going about his business. He just doing his thing. He ain't worried about a thing, and he looked down, and my man see my man with a donkey shirt on and was like, oh, no. He got a shirt on talking about some Harris. He said, oh, no, absolutely not. So his first thought is, I'm about to get up out of here, because that's the op, right? If y'all know what that is, opposition, it's the person that is opposing you. We don't mess with the ops, right? It's for my older people. BDA know what I'm talking about, though. He got me. As they're going, though, the Republican stops in his tracks and thinks, what if that were me laying on the side of that road down bad? Would I not want anybody to stop and help me if my life was in danger, if my life was in jeopardy? So he does what nobody else was willing to do. And he stops and he gives immediate medical care and attention. He gives water. He picks up the Democrat, carries him to safety, ultimately saving his life. And when you ponder this, I want you guys to know that every single day of your life, you cross the paths of people who don't look like you, who don't think like you, who don't come from where you come from, who are down bad in some area. Maybe not physically, they're down bad mentally. They're down bad emotionally. They're down bad financially. They down bad, bleeding out. And we get so lost in the sauce that we say, even for the people that you like, I ain't got time for that. But for the people that's the opposition, I'm good. Do you see what they got on? You see what they think? Do you see what they believe? Can't mess with them. Can't mess with them. And we leave people to struggle, thus creating the condition in which we live right now. And I, for one, am a human being that is personally tired of seeing this go the way that it's gone. Today is not only a challenge, today is a plea from my heart to yours. Let's be better. Let's be better. I'm challenging us to be better. I know some people is like, they don't really care about the politics thing. This might not be for you. You could keep it rocking and rolling. But there are other people, a lot of people, this is one of the biggest topics happening right now in our country, that is prepared to cut off everybody they know right now as a result of the things they are saying. And that's the next thing, the things that you are saying. What are you saying, fam? Are the things you're saying a reflection of who you really want to be known as, the legacy you really want to create for yourself? 30 years from now, are you going to be proud of things you're saying to and about strangers online? What up, though? What are we really talking about? And I'm just watching the world go to war with each other over something like that that should never outweigh your love for your fellow brother, sister. By brother, sister, I mean human, for your fellow human. You might be like, them ain't my brothers and sisters. I hear you. But I could never see a human struggling and in need and not help them. I don't care who they are, what they think. I'm just telling you, like, sometimes those little actions mean everything. Want me to make it real for you? We had a real situation in the state in which I live right now, where this dude with known affiliations to the KKK went online publicly blasting. He said some horrible things. Yes, he did. And he was immediately canceled by the world. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be consequences for your actions, because you got to learn there's consequences for your actions. But people started creating death threats for this man. They found his address, they leaked it online, and then it just started going to the extreme, and he and his family were afraid to live. And it was another dear friend and brother of mine. He and I both built names and reputations as leaders of the movement of equality and unity in our city. And so we were being called into businesses, to organizations, to talk to people about what equity really looked like, about what equality really looked like, to kind of speak to some of the nuances of the race conversation, because there's so much division there, just like in the politics conversation. And my man went to Buddy's house. He went to his house, and they were able to have a real conversation in order to help him understand why his thought processing was flawed. And as a result, that man wound up breaking down because nobody had ever gotten close enough to him, especially somebody that looked different, for him to see their humanity and learn the ways that he had been trained and taught to view the world were wrong. But what if we had not been open to that kind of conversation? Where would that man be? I mean, after that, there was a public conversation that was able to happen that led to the death threats of this man's family stopping. I'm trying to get you to see there's a bigger picture with these things. And I know this isn't a fun conversation to have. This isn't one that people love to have. This isn't something that people are excited to talk about, because it's a challenge. It's a challenge to everybody, because people get real in their feelings about this politics stuff. I'm not. But a lot of people get real in their feelings and they don't want to hear. My challenge is for people on both sides of the aisle. I don't care if you wear blue or red. I don't even know which one wear what. I don't care if you're an elephant or a donkey. I don't care what your hat say. I don't care about none of that. What I care about is how you love your fellow brother, how you love your fellow sister, how you love your fellow human, how you treat your fellow human, and how you not allow those things which govern our land to supersede the basic humanity you see when you know that we can all really help each other. This reminds me of another story, something that's happening right now in the real world. We just had these crazy storms hit our country. Devastation, still much love and prayer to the people down in Florida as a result of that hurricane, and still in cleanup mode. Most of the world has moved on in their minds and hearts, but there's people who ain't going to be able to move on for a very long time, who are going to be dealing with the aftermath of that storm. Likewise, up the coast in the southern part of the East Coast in the Carolinas, there's people whose lives won't be the same for a very long time. And there's people who are going to be dealing with the aftermath. So still sending much love and many prayers to you. And there's a dear friend of mine. Shout out to you, Miss Ophelia. Some of you guys know her. You may have heard of her online by the name of Mama Tot. And she made a video just from her heart. And her video was just crying out for help for the people. I mean, her heart was for the people. Her heart was burdened by looking at these people who were down bad. And she was like, well, I got 15 million followers. Maybe we can do something about them people that's down bad just by raising awareness of the things they're going through, because we got these government agencies, and I'm not trying to comfort them. I'm just saying it feels like I feel helpless, because there should be more that we can do in order to help people who go through these situations and circumstances. In some kind of way, the internet Now turn that into a political conversation, and I watched people grilling this lady, and she had to answer multiple times who she's voting for. I'm like, what does who you voting for got to do with a heart for compassion for people who just lost everything? What are we talking about? And so I watch people attack this lady and bring up her son who was terribly murdered, and take a son, a baby. She lost a child to murder in a setup, and people are bringing him into a conversation about politics and challenging this human being who they don't know on the internet. What are we talking about? What are we doing? And I sit as a human being who has met her multiple times on multiple occasions. We sit on an influencer board for a shared organization, and we get to come together and we get to create hope, and we get to create life change, and we get to serve people and families and use our platforms to do that. That's crazy in the best way. And I was sitting with her this year in April, reflecting on my own journey, and we were having this conversation. And I'm telling her about the time that I gave up. If y'all follow this and y'all follow me in the community in the podcast, y'all know when I gave up, and y'all know why I gave up. My heart was broken. And I was walking through that. And she was talking about how her heart breaks every day for the state of the world and for some of the messages, nasty, evil, hateful messages that she gets. We were having this conversation. And when I was saying, man, how heavy it was for me in that season when I really wanted to throw in the towel and say, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not helping people no more. For what? I'm over it. And she grabbed my hand and she looked at me in my soul. And she said, now, baby, she said, you can't ever give up, because this world needs your heart and this world needs your hope. It was something to that effect. If you know her voice, you know. But she really looked at me in my soul and she said, we need you. Every day we need you. She said, this world is hurting and people need your hope. You are a beacon of light and hope and strength and resilience. And what you represent in this world, we can never lose. We need it. So she was like, if you ever get to that place again, you need to hit up mama and let her know so I can give you a pep talk, because we desperately need it. You know, when she was looking at me, two Southern individuals from the heart of the most racist places on the country, Alabama and Mississippi, looking different, me with my tattoos and urban wear, streetwear, and her with her Dolly Parton 3.0 aura. And we sat there and had this conversation. And you know what never came up once in that conversation? Who we were voting for. What our political ideation was. In a world that told us that we're supposed to be natural born enemies because of how we look, because of how we sound, and because of where we come from. And I'm like, these people are grilling this woman, and she show up every single day of her life, pouring her heart out, and never ask for nothing in return. She ain't asking y'all for nothing. And it's just sad to me that we can live in a world where people can make assumptions on other people off the internet, and that you will eat. And I'm like, okay, even if she was voting for the op, the person that you don't want to vote for, what that got to do with you? Vote for who you want to vote for. Ain't nobody telling you who you need to vote for. Vote for who you, I don't care who you vote for, fam. I'm going to tell you, whether you agree with me or you disagree with me, that's cool. Do you, boo. I ain't with it, you know? I'm not having my life so tied up into that I can't see people, and that I can't connect with people, and I can't focus on people and processes and things that make my life better, my family better, my legacy better. I'm not getting so tied up into that I lose sight of what matters most. Because guess what? The election is going to come in a few weeks, and that joint going to go. And you know what's going to happen when it come and when it go? The next day, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to open my eyes, and I'm going to just waking up in the morning. Got to thank God. That's what I'm going to do when I first open my eyes. I'm going to get my little self up. I'm going to stretch out. I'm going to get my mind right. I'm going to get my kids up. You know what I'm going to do after that? I'm going to say, go brush your teeth. After I get through kissing them all over their faces, shake, rattle, and roll, singing to them. We're going to get them up. They're going to go brush their teeth. We're going to have their clothes laid out. We're going to get them dressed for school. Mama gonna scrub on their face and make sure their hair is glistening, and then we gonna go and I'm gonna make sure they have breakfast and a snack is in their bag. I'm gonna put them in the car. I'm gonna go to the school. I'm gonna sing to them and tell them to go be leaders, go be kind, go be great, because you can, and I'm gonna send them on their way. And then when they go on their way, I'm gonna leave there. I'm gonna make sure mama's good. She don't need no coffee. Whatever she got what she need. If she got what she need, then I'm gonna go to my spot and I'm gonna pull up on Chatter Social and I'm gonna open up Morning Motivation and I'm gonna say, what up, family? What's good with it? What's popping? I got an incredible message for y'all today. Pull up on me. Share it to the room. Share the room, because sharing is caring. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish that. I'm gonna go to the studio. I'm gonna record some content. I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna make sure the family's good. I'm gonna meet with my incredible clients who I serve and make sure their stories is right and they can go make their dreams come true. What's going to change in my life is my point. So I'm sitting here creating real division, real issues, cutting people off, going to war about some people who ain't thinking about me. Oh my God. They don't care. They ain't thinking about me. But I put my everything on these people. I put my life savings in these people's pocket so they can all go be corrupt together. Oh, I said what I said. Yes, I did. They might come find me. I don't care. It's a free country. I got freedom of speech. They can all go be corrupt together. So I'm going to fight people about these people. I don't know what them people doing when they lay their head at night. None of them. Well, this one's better than that. You don't know none of them people. You don't know what they doing at their house. You don't know what them people got going on. And them people ain't thinking about you right now. They are not. But you going to go against and create real wars and real division with real people that you know in your life. And the people you know in your life could be down bad. It's the person on the side of the road just needing somebody to be kind and compassionate, just like Ophelia, just like Mama Tot was to me. Shout out to you for being a GOAT. I said what I said. I stand. Matter of fact, clip this so I could post this on the internet so the world can know how much I love my friend who didn't care who I was voting for when I was down bad. And she lent a hand and she looked into my soul and she showed me love. And she said, you got this, baby. And if you ever need help, holler at me. I said what I said. But then you want to live in a world where you want to take real people, everyday people that's trying to make it just like you, that you know, that you done ate lunch with, that done been in your house, that y'all go to church together, that y'all, whatever, your kids play together, kids is in the group scouts. And you're going to take everything inside of you and go against this person, creating real world division and toxicity over people you don't know. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Because y'all ideologies ain't all the same. Because y'all don't agree on everything. Guess what? You ain't going to agree on everything. Me and my wife live together, and we got common goals, and we don't agree on everything. You expect yourself to agree with somebody that don't live with you, that didn't commit their life to you? You're not going to agree on everything, and guess what? That's okay. Okay? You don't have to agree on everything. But your responsibility is to see the humanity in your brother and your sister and your community and your neighbor, and to be neighborly, whatever that means for you. It's different for everybody. Some people's neighborly go extreme. Some people is cooking for each other. You ain't got to do that if that ain't who you are. But you can smile, but you can be kind. You can show compassion. You can show love. We all deal with grief. We all deal with loss. We all have financial burdens. We all have, I don't know no other way to say it, G. I'm challenging you. As we get closer to this day, and this joint is about to happen, and the election is going to come and go, I need you to focus on what matters most, which is your responsibility to being a good human, your responsibility to being a positive, productive citizen, your responsibility to showing love and care and compassion to people. I ain't talking about no color people, no race of people. I ain't talking about no this politics, this religion, that religion. Your responsibility is to be a neighbor to people, point blank, period. And that's the bottom line, because M Black said so, and you can go run tell that. How about that? So, as I send you on your merry way to have a good day, the charge and the challenge is simple. I'm challenging you to think about the greater good. I'm challenging you to think about your neighbors, and I'm challenging you, maybe don't say everything that pops in your mind. Because if you're going around picking fights, then you are a biggest part of the problem of what we're talking about. I want to make sure I'm right. I want to make sure everybody know. Y'all know that thought you have before you put something on the internet that you know is about to stir the pot and be divisive and create that negative energy, but you're going to go viral possibly. Is it really worth it though? If you lose people that you care about in the process, is going viral worth it? How much does that really matter? You go viral twice, what did you get? You ain't making no money off that. You know how many times you got to go viral consistently to really get a bag and get some bread? If you go viral once or twice, you're not finna get no life-changing bread. I'm gonna just tell you right now. It's not gonna happen. So then was going viral and getting attention for a minute and having your 30 seconds of fame, was that worth all the pain that you caused the other people in the process? And you wasn't even trying to, you was just trying to go viral, trying to create a moment, trying to ride a wave, trying to chase some clout. Is it really worth it? Or is it worth it? I got a dear friend. She over here. She on Chatter Social. Shout out to my G. Mama Mia is in the building. And one morning, she asked me to say some kind words. I said, what you want me to say? What you want me to talk about? She said, I want you to talk about what it means to be a good human. Okay, cool. We'll be a good human. Let's talk about it. I appreciate you. So what it means to be a good human is my challenge to you guys today, which is to look out for one another, which is to show love to one another, which is to care and not agree. Notice, ain't no time during this whole talk I told you have to agree with one another. You gotta support what each other believe. I ain't tell you that. I ain't tell you need to shift your personal convictions to go in alignment with somebody else. I never said that. What I said is don't allow those beliefs and convictions, especially in a political climate, to cause so much division that you can't see the humanity in somebody else who might be struggling, because if we honest, all of us struggle at one time or another. So I said, ain't no more talking. We gonna go on. Life goes on. And the challenge is simple. Go be a good human, go be a neighbor, go show love, go show compassion, and stop stirring the pot unnecessarily, creating more division, but instead go and create more unity, more love, more blessings, more life, like my man DJ Khaled said, because you can.